FURIA. If you think I'm joined by Hugo Byron again, you're fooled. I've got his better half, Harry Russell.
Oh, that's such a good intro. I feel so welcome. I feel so good. And yeah, this is going to be wild, Connor. I think we're on a bit of a low-key banger. I know the expectations are kind of low after Apeks getting absolutely bodied to open this up, and they had no fight in them. But I hope that that's going to ignite a little fire in the hearts of Apeks. And I think Jacob's interview, where he kind of, laid it all out there. He really did, put himself out there and say, yeah, we messed up big time, and there's no identity in the team. We're pushing and pulling each other in different directions right now. I hope that with that presence of mind, they're gonna come into this with a real fighting form.
I would hope so. I would hope that just individually, we need more levels, right? You can't be getting 13-0'd by FURIA as well. So Apeks looking for their first round win of IEM Katowice 2024. And it is weird, of course, that we had both these teams in a grand finals at the tail end of 23 showing promise. Now, if anybody has an excuse to fall off between the two, obviously it's Apeks losing Kixan to the heroic camp, the core, the in-game leader. That's supposed to put you down a bit. FURIA, they're just soul-searching.
Yeah, I mean, like Art said, everyone wants us to be good. We think we're good, but then we're not. So let's see if they can address that right now. On this little A play, Yuri's going to fall immediately. And just like that, Apeks, they've got full site control. They've got the bomb going down. They're in a good place.
For a bunch of players that are pulling each other apart, I think that they just tethered very nicely up the short side, got themselves into the pack, dive in, and Jacob, there we go. That's what we need from him, right? Jacob and Nock, these are the two stars of the show back in Paris. It's who we've come to expect big things from. And then obviously, we had Stiko kind of take the back seats. But he's back in action and here to close it. 3 kills from Stiko in the pistol, and Apeks, they've done the unthinkable. They've won a round.
They've done it. That's not good.
They've done it.
Oh, they've done it. They've won their round. They've won a round. Something they haven't done yet in Kato. And Jacob, double his kills from the entire last matchup. So
love that.
We're 1 round in, and things are already looking way better.
It scares me, though, the thought of FURIA not making it to the main event. Although I say it scares me, it should actually meet expectations, right? We have to remember where we were 1 year ago. FURIA getting eliminated by the Mongols, who sure enough have another win over them at the start of 2024. Here again, the nemesis of Katowice really for this team. But yeah, this big project, this Fallen, FURIA, he's somebody where, FURIA can talk about identity, or I guess they didn't bring it up, but it has been weird seeing Fallen try to slot into this team. His individual level I feel like it's almost like Art and Cello have kind of taken over some aggressive rifling that maybe overshadows a chance for the op to get into certain moments. And I do feel like, I feel the pull going back into Art's hands slowly. I feel like he's operating in the shadows, but with USPs, you can sit in smokes or shadows or anywhere you want. Odds are most certainly against you. Tetsunito finds the easy opening, but they will walk into a 4-player pistol stack. Yuri comes out, quick glance, they disassemble. Then the T's nade the AK back. I do enjoy that. It gets this hive mind of FURIA peeking down out of Arch. They took their gun away. They took their souls with it too.
I like that. That gives off almost like pirate-y themes.
Yarg.
Like down to Davy Jones. Is that his name? Davy Jones?
David Jones' locker.
Jones, of course, his father. Down to his locker. Man, Apeks, okay. They stick the landing on the conversion, even though they run into that little 4-man stack on the long side. It's only USPs. We never even had to worry. They lose Jacob's gun, but they promptly get it back with the nade, as you say, and things are looking good. So, FURIA, first buy round, Art on an MP9, Fallen on an MP9. Let's get it, boys. Let's get into this one. Apeks have already been celebrating. So let's have some celebrations for FURIA. I want to see what they've got up their sleeve here. Early on, it was this triple lean over towards A, but they don't elect to do anything with it, instead falling back in a triple B. So they're probably going to want to try and fight for some of this banana control once this smoke at the top of the half wall has faded. Right now, Sassanito just sat down there waiting to see if he's given any aggression.
Nade won't find anything, no big deal. We get a slow little apartment approach, but I say slow, it kind of hits a uptick in the tempo sense on the MAC-10, the one SMG of Apeks. Looking for early brackets control, and honestly, it's there for the taking with a lesser stack site, 2 players and 1 leaning back. They didn't like that apartment setup. Yuri already peeling into the pit. We get this continuous exchange of smoke grenades and this opportunity for Art to find damage, but it's all unconfirmed. No idea how many are really right there. And honestly, Apeks ready to go.
Yeah, they even get a kill over towards B. That's maybe, you know, it could bait them back around with the bomb. It looked like for a moment they were going to run back down middle. But they decide against it for now. And if they stick to their guns and they follow through on this A play, they're going to find a pretty under-defended bomb site here, right? You don't even really have util to try and slow this one down. Down in the pit, Yuri's got a smoke, but that's likely going to be used, well, I was going to say to extinguish any mollies, but there aren't any left for Apeks. So he can try stifle the aggro up through short. It's this long side that could prove to be a bit of a problem for FURIA.
Man, I don't know how they hold this. Already you've got a player backside. Desperate is Art, leaning on the pit player to offer up something because surely he'll get swarmed. Luckily for Yuri, he finds the back turn. Now they'll take the bomb site, they'll get their plant. Ooh, doesn't go to try and stop it. Doesn't have a nade to get him off. And Yuri looking for the follow-up frag down to only 10 HP. He needs this support to come out from Library, and Jacob's ready to lock it in. Jacob's ready for them to extend, and as Fallen goes wide, he goes down. Jacob up close has support from Satsunito, and Yuri, who's been here from the start, only got that one frag. Art backside felt like his hands were tied, and unfortunately for Yuri, never got a second chance.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he kind of did all he had to do in that moment, right down in the pit, as they're kind of swarming the site. Your job at that point really is just like stay alive, wait for the rest of the guys to get into position, and that's where, you know, you pointed it out brilliantly. Jacob was just like set up, primed and ready to go. He hears the footsteps in the library. He knows where those next two players are coming from, where those next 2 points of contact are going to be. And so they just kind of let Yuri, you know, they give him that room down in the pit. They say, look, he can't win the round from there. He's screwed. So they deal with the extremities. They leave that man trapped in a cage. And now this is an interesting buy. It's the hero org, and it's gone immediately. So if you were excited about it, well, joke's on you. They're going to try to get it back, but the nade's constantly just trying to shift these guns away. You've seen Apeks do it once. They were looking to do it again, but Yuri has been able to grab it.
You say he was locked in a cage, but like how big of a cage are we talking about?
Oh, dude, it was small. You know, it was like, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't the fun kind of cage.
Okay, okay. I feel like that is an important distinction, Harry. So sorry to hear that about him, but happy to see Apeks thriving with a little bit of momentum. The AUG, it's been repositioned over towards the B site. This could have very well enabled for Cello to try and press Banana. He's got one in the corner, doesn't know it, but he's also got a little to lose.
Oh my god, yeah, okay, thank god. He pulls the AK back out and immediately puts it to work. Oh, love that for Satsunito. And that's the B site open for business. Go on in, boys. Apeks are on to a fourth.
I felt bad for Satsunito when Kixan left. You know, 2 Macedonians trying to come into it. You know, it's not a country we get to talk about too often, looking to make their scene thrive within Apeks, and then one of them just gets ripped apart from the other. So I look forward to seeing what Satsunito can now do without his brother in arms. And this is a round where, well, it's made easy by the fact that they didn't have Kevlar, 2 had pistols. But just good game sense, you know, continuation spray, going for the bomb site, playing the close right, just thriving in the advantage that he certainly knew he had. Worst thing someone could do is play scared Counter-Strike. You know, Hugo Byron Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's real bottom of the barrel stuff. But look, man, no, I am liking what Apeks have been doing thus far, right? I think they've been doing a really good job of kind of managing the options that FURIA have. One thing that should have been apparent off of how these first few rounds have gone is that FURIA are going for these heavy B lanes, and when you're doing that, you want to fight for the banana control, right? You want to kind of put those 3 players to work, to use. In that first rifle round, I actually think that was one of the weirder points, was that they almost approached it like it was a gamble, like they were just keeping those 3 players in B indefinitely, hoping that that's where the play ended up. And as we've seen FURIA try to get a bit more active over there, it's been getting punished by Satsunito. So he's off to a rip-roaring start at 7-0. And he's looking to keep that going. A missed AWP shot from Fallen.
Hurts.
And like, even now, you know, he's done a lot of damage to these B players. Well, what's that going to mean? It means they probably have to keep the 3B still in standing, right? And so that A site is made that much weaker as a result. Suddenly you're looking at this 2-man hold, now 1-man hold, and you're hoping that they can offer up something. They can offer up some resistance. But it's so much easier said than done. 1 kill from Art is not going to be enough to stop the tide of Apeks. That bomb's going down again, and all that damage that Satsunito did earlier on is now worth its weight in gold.
Perfect, man. Perfect. Keep sweeping that stack towards the B side. I think you're dead on. With everybody wounded, they had to prop each other up. And honestly, I feel like Apeks really sensed blood in the water off that. We see them nade open their own smoke in middle. You know, a couple of steps within that A site follow through that I think are fueled by the thought of the potential B stack coming over, right? They knew they had the numbers advantage in that moment, and I think that they grabbed that moment with both hands. We see them running through the Molotov, dealing with Art over on Arch, just tearing through. Certainly helps that Stiko able to get the headshot on one of the two defenders. We didn't quite catch it from him, like the timing wise, so I feel as though maybe player, keep your head down, but Apeks, I think, ready to roll through. Right now, it feels like a team that just got stomped out by Donk, and now they're taking their rage out on FURIA.
Yeah, and that's sometimes what happens, you know, like you get the fire lit beneath you, as it were. You kind of have one bad experience and you go, never going to let that happen again. And so then it's, you know, bad news for the next guy, essentially. And FURIA are the ones on the receiving end of that. That said, I do want, you know, I want to say FURIA are kind of playing a bit scared over towards B, if I'm being honest. Like, you know, there's 3 players there. It's only ever really been Sassanito fighting them. And they're kind of giving him the room to do that. You know, they're letting him take top banana. They're letting him kind of be out on his own little island and wage his own wars here up against them, and it's making them feel very immobile, right? These rounds have really been decided in 2 kills over on the A site in the bulk of the rifle rounds we've got to see so far. So I hope that we have a bit of an adjustment there, maybe a bit of an attempt to fight for this banana control, because you're giving up way too much real estate to one player, and Apeks only got that confirmed even more so with the 3-man save after they get into A.
Bombardment comes out, but not too bad. Not too worse for wear. Come on, somebody poke FURIA. Do something. Do something. Give us a CT side to talk about. You know, Harry, I told production, I said, give me another play-by-play caster while Launders is out of here, because FURIA, they're going to take it to the limit. We're going to be talking
that's what I was thinking,
Counter-Strike. Right? And instead, I'm actually getting this out of Apex's camp. So it's the same, it meets my expectation, but it's just the opposite team. Now, of course, maybe muted by the defensive side of Inferno. Apeks map pick. But where's your Caserado clip? Where's that cello aggro?
We're owed one, 100%, right? Like,
yeah, they owe us everything.
It feels that way. Fallen, come on, nail this one. Oh, just sails on past, and now he's dead. Oh, God, man. Cello just walks into the bullets. It's like Sassanito's just being given like the best time of his life over here at the top of B. Come on, Caserado. Here we are. 1 kill from him. Bit more action out of Yuri. Yes, yes. This is beautiful. FURIA have clawed it back into a 3-on-3, and Apeks is super divided all across the map. They still deal with Yuri in rotation, but Caserado, putting a leash on the B play at least, sends that bomb away, but it will get the free passage into A thanks to Jacob.
Yeah, we see Caserado get active, play through the CT smoke, just kind of swim within the utility of Apeks on B. We get Yuri as well, closing down on the apartments. Why? Because he peeks, because he get active. The round prior, we actually see Yuri getting caught as he jumps up on Van. That's how Stiko got into the bomb site. That's that kill that maybe happened a little too soon. We've got 2 instances of FURIA playing proactive CT side in a 3v5 that brought it back 3v3. Looking good. Obviously, Jacob, this lurk, those 2 kills on A, that's what you need from him. It's what you come to expect from someone like Jacob, the star rifler of Apeks in their deepest run.
They're going to do it. Yes, they've done the FURIA smoke. Let's go. Fallen's been given a bit of room to fight for banana. This is what we want.
Gotta say, man, he's had a couple moments where he's sitting on an angle on banana and it's just whiff shots.
Yeah, but he's playing with a bit of balls here. He's playing with some balls, kind of man. He's taking these fights he's believing, and he locks in all this info early that for once they haven't got the top banana control. So that's lovely. They're even going to throw him up on the boost. Yeah, this is more like it.
You like this?
I am liking this already. And I know FURIA don't have a lot to go on in this round outside of the AWP, but look. Oh, well.
Caserado, maybe he can op. It looked cool, but it didn't quite land. And as he falls a little further back, we get this kind of delayed CT rotate. They're running over now. They're of 2 minds, however. Doubling back and doing so fairly. Caserado in with more op kills than Fallen. And Sense wants to wrap around Arch side. So this two-pronged assault into a stacked bomb site. Art, again, an initiative into the apartments. Will they read into the possibility of going CT? It would take the short player to come back with bomb. Quesarado a second off of the sniper, but that is an open door to be.
Yeah, the route through CT cracked wide open thanks to Sense on that lurk. And Nork's been allowed to move in with the bomb. He's going to get this AWP in the post plant now. At least FURIA have been able to arm themselves. That's something. Cello holding down these longer angles, lands a leg onto Nork, but doesn't deal the killing blow, and that might make all the difference. Nork's going to live rent-free in their nightmares. It was back in Finland that he put on a masterclass versus this team, and FURIA did take note of that. And right now in this post plant, he lights them up. The one that got away. It's Nork with the AWP, brought down low, but not finished off, and he goes on a reign of terror after that fact to keep this scoreline flawless for Apeks.
You know, they say what goes around comes around, and that 13-0 pressed into Apex's forehead yesterday, branded by Donk in his Katowice debut. There's no running from that one, but the only way you can shake that off is do it yourself to whoever's up next. And right now, FURIA on the receiving end of a gnarly 3K out of Knock. The fact that he gets legged as well by Cello, but then just comes in with these instant kills. Getting a glimpse of the player who gets into Church, I feel like that opens up the possibility of still dueling deep CT even though you're on 20 health. That internal timer, knowing that player can't run, but he's going to walk to the back of Coffin's door. Knock thriving there, not because he sat back on an angle and hid, but because he played it active.
Yeah, and you know in every one of those fights they're thinking, he's low, he's lagged, like we got this, you know, so he knows he's going to get given the fights as well. Now, thing of beauty there, I want to point out for FURIA, Fallen has dropped the AWP. Art is now the one picking it up.
Well,
the faith shaken.
That's not a sign of the times. But hey, it's an egoless decision. Fallen says, you know what, bro? I don't want this damn thing.
Someone else take it. Quesarado, you look really good with it. You could have it if you want.
But
oh god,
you sit on an angle with the barrel of the gun sticks out. Sense and Jacob in with entries. This was another gun round, and it's another dismantling of FURIA.
Right, I mean, I don't want to say what we're potentially thinking, but like it's 8-0 right now.
Say it.
Obviously, Apeks famously got 13-0'd in the opener, and we keep saying this idea of they want to do it right back. I didn't mean literally. I didn't think they would actually show up and 13-0 FURIA, but my god, it could happen if this keeps up.
5 rounds out. And this one, well, I mean, this
Look
one's...
at the mini-map, bro. Cello's so cooked. They're all behind him. They're in front of him. They're everywhere. And he's out of ammo. That A1S lets him down. The 20 bullets, he would have needed about 600 by the looks of things with how many Apeks players were coming in from all different angles to lock out that save. And so for FURIA, back to the drawing board. The money in a really bad spot all over again, so it's going to be another one of these kind of partial buys at best for the FURIA squad. A decision you don't take lightly or even want to make at this point in the game, but it's really all they're left with. Art's got himself a hero M4, but other than that, it's a few pieces of utility to go in early and a couple of pistols armor.
Man, this is just raw CS. The way Apeks flood through the brackets last round, 2 insta headshots out of Jacob. Stiko gets clipped, that solo M4 trying to get up in his face. 5-7 looks to push him over, but he's doing a good job of drawing them in. Come get me if you want it. Otherwise, I'm just going to buy my time, get my trade frags, drop that M4, and establish this 4v3. And then Knock catches Cello trying to cross deep in the apartments. So Apeks 9-0, scrawny seal of guarantee. Can I do that? Can I seal things? You remember, back in the day when people would seal envelopes with like hot wax and you get to press it?
Yeah.
Does Hugo still do that?
I think that is customary in the Byron palatial estate.
Yes, in the Byron manor.
Does this round get, I know you gave it your seal of approval. Does it get more interesting? Does Quesarado wow us right now?
If he had armor, maybe. If Fallen had a kill, perhaps. Quesarado 5-7 backside. Nah, not gonna happen. Just bested by the pistol. I told you, Harry. Take it to the bank.
There you go. That's the scrawny seal.
You heard it there. Effing perfect. And I mean, who can argue this is as perfect as it gets? Apeks, they haven't had any shaky moments. I mean, this is, by all definitions, a beating.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I mean, on the upside, you know, you didn't really need a color caster to break this one down, right? It's just kind of a flat-out brawl that Apeks are the only ones kind of in the bar fight right now.
I don't know. Maybe if we had a color caster, we could understand why it's happening. But I'm just in awe, Mr. Russell.
Like, look, FURIA, 4B, please give him a little fight at Banana. Like, if you weren't going to fight with this many players here, when were you gonna? They up and lead with 2.
But it's the timing, it's the tempo. Like Apeks, they're already on the brink of the A site. Nobody's stopping him. Sense walks right in. Gets clotheslined by Yuri. And that kills critical, right? Because Quesarado aren't ready to come out from library.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. So active in Banana and so passive in Pit. You know, there's a small chance that Sense either could have cleared that pit as he walked in. Hell, he could have Molotov'd it and that would have flushed Yuri out or forced his hand to drop smoke. But in reality, Sense just tries to go in a little too dry. And with that, we may be looking at FURIA's first round.
Yeah, I like it though, right? Like, because at this point, you're 9-0 down. Like, no idea is a bad idea, right? And so they play 4 strong over towards B. They really home in on denying Sassanito this top banana control that he's been getting constantly and just causing issues from. They make sure he doesn't get that room, and then they go, oh, God.
But what happens when Sassanito reopens the B site? Because don't you remember the one time he did? Don't you remember that 3K?
There's still a guy here, Connor.
Yeah, but it's Cello, Harry, and Cello's shaking in his little boots. Stiko will die over towards Arch. This opens up a faster rotate, but it doesn't mean that they can't get in before the support arrives. We get this deep angle held from Quesarado out of spawn. Sassanito, gotta come clear it. Shadow advantage for Cello, and by God, they've done it. No 13-0 for FURIA, but it's still 3 rounds best case scenario on this defense.
Yeah, that's what they're shooting for. And you know, the kind of 4B start, it's crazy, but it's worked out for them. Yuri just kind of sat back in the pit, delivered this kill for free on Sense, and then the rest of the gang making good time on the rotates once they've locked in the control over towards B that they were looking for. They are able to pick one up. The alarm bell's still kind of sounding for Fallen, who has had many a chance across this map so far. I don't want to make out that, like, they've necessarily been, you know, wrecking him with util or making his life super miserable. These are really the fights you look for on the AWP, and he's just missed a couple of shots that you've got to hit. Yeah. 0-9, so if he could look to get back into it, if we can have a bit of a late reactivation, they could shoot for 3. Once again, they've stifled the early control over at Banana, and this time they're putting in a bit of work over towards the apartments as well, so trying to get a bit more active. They are immediately punished for that, however. But still, it's a fresh idea, and now we have to see Sassanito, who's been fantastic over on this side of the map, does have support in Jacob.
Oh man, Stiko's just piecing him up. Come on, Fallen, you can do it. He's allowed for the Arch player to get out. The Boiler Man's coming back. Oh, he turns towards it. Oh, he feels as though he's surrounded, and honestly, I don't blame him. He's got 0 support, and there's this ticker in his mind that'll indicate the potential for the Arch wrap. So, I mean, if Fallen positions himself perfectly here, there's a small chance he gets away with it. Apeks still of 2 minds. Bombs starting to come back to the A play because they know they've got that rotate completely cut off with the CT control. I mean, you've got Banana, you've got CT. You know there's at least 1, and if not 2 players just stranded on this half of the map. Stiko, welcome back. You know, if Norbert can return to Virtus Pro and take his career to new heights, maybe Stiko is on the same trajectory. 11-4, right behind Sassanito, and some critical openings of that A bomb site as Apeks lock in double digits.
Man, you know, this is so rough. Nothing to be done, nothing to be said here. Cello won't even get to save, and this is how so many of his rounds have ended, just kind of staring, waiting, knowing that they're hunting you down, knowing that everyone's goal is to just knock all the guns out of the server, and often he's left alone over towards B in like a 1v4 trying to save an M4. I don't know, this is really awkward. For the individuals, you're not feeling like you're even getting to play rounds here if you're FURIA. Everything's being dictated to you by Apeks. You're getting beaten on. And for someone like Fallen, who's 0-10, he's very aware of, you know, how out of this game he is right now. And he's kind of feeling like he's out of position wherever he is. You know, it's just one of those games where you never get comfortable. He needs that 1 round to bring him back in, but he's certainly had his chances, and none of them have connected so far. Jacob dead early. That's something for FURIA. But even if they win this round, will that change the outcome of the game? Probably not.
You can always change your fate as long as you believe. Somebody actually believes that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, somebody out there believes that. Me, not so much. I think Apeks have this in the bag. An 11th round would look real good.
It's a very nice sentiment.
Yeah.
Saying, you know.
Yeah, it's what you tell yourself when you feel like life is falling around you. And in this case, I think FURIA are in that boat.
Come on, this is his round. This is his moment. There's no way he doesn't get a single kill in the half. Oh, yes, that's nearly it. So nearly. Yes!
Let's
One
go.
for Fallen. Give me more. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. He will just drop a smoke and stop there, obviously, because it's crazy to throw himself back into the fight. But still, he didn't go 0-11 in the half.
Yeah, 1-11 maybe instead. 35 to the clock, and Sense gets out from apartments. No, he doesn't. He's just kind of in between two pieces of utility. Does fall down off the cart. Smoke on short, 28 to the clock.
This is really good, though. They've saved enough util to be able to slow down this play, to be able to thwart it. Apeks don't have these open routes, these open sight lines that they've so often had in the A play.
They're going to dive in. Going to take the dink from Yuri, and it's looking like a likely second round win here from FURIA. Art chucks out the homing missile, and Knock is indeed going to go down. So FURIA, they'll post a second in tandem with Fallen's first frag. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more of that. Well, it's a pretty lopsided affair here between Apeks and FURIA. My name's Hugo Byron, and I'm joined by Harry Russell. We had bigger expectations for the Brazilians at the start of the day, Harry, but it seems that Jacob's turned it up a notch.
Yeah, he has. He has turned it up a notch, hasn't he? Yeah, fantastic display from Apeks, who really did want to make amends after a crazy rough start. One thing that's very good about this team is you really get the impression that they're honest with themselves and they're honest with each other. Both, you know, having heard words from Stiko and having heard Jacob's interview, they were under no illusion that the way they played yesterday just was not up to par, wasn't up to standard. They were not happy with it. And I think at least when you have everyone on that mindset, they're keen to leave an impression today. And leave an impression they are.
I think, honestly, man, I think Donk got in their head a little. I think they were afraid of the Wonder Child. And then he proceeded to dominate them. So Apeks walking into the server today knowing that they could not afford to do what they did yesterday. And this is a very good look for them in contrast, right? Having Stiko up there with Tatsunito and Jacob. The win conditions coming through from the Apeks camp. A nice pistol round here on the CT side would close it out quick, you could assume. But Sense is very much on his own as the full-blown exec comes in. Oh, hello! The frag grenade exposing him to 5. Fast flank out of Banana. This is 3 players for FURIA trying to move forward into sight with 1 deep inside of the church. So 3 on site and 3 on Banana. Apeks trying to boost over the smoke to get eyes in, but they'll be blocked off for now.
Yeah, underhanded a smoke here, and so that's kind of locked out the bulk of this retake. He will go down fighting Stiko back at the spawn. They really try to chase this kill, but he just keeps on getting them. Stiko, another. Now Fallen back at the site. There's 1. Any more? Fallen onto the double. Now it's just Yuri, just trying to buy time. Oh, swinging on out. Stiko finds him, Kit on his back, and so he's going to grab that defuse. It's the pistol round to go the way of Apeks. And once again, for a second time now in this first map, it's Stiko with a big 3K to do it in the pistol.
Yeah, damn right it is. Pulls up in the John Deere and just overruns that B-site retake. I mean, clean shots from Fallen. Gotta give him credit off the pillar pinch like that. Nice frag grenade as well from FURIA to just expose the solo defender. This second kill's clean. But Stiko gets that final trade frag as they run down Yuri backsite. And so Stiko having a performance he can most certainly be proud of. It's put Apeks in a wonderful position to just push this over the line. But to deal with an AK and 2 Galils is the challenge at hand.
Yeah, the force buy in, but I mean already Apeks, you know, kind of showing how battling for this banana control is supposed to look, right? Like they've really locked FURIA out of it. Don't get me wrong, if you're FURIA, you still got time. You go back to it a little bit later, you wait till they burn through all this util, but it's kind of the amount of space Apeks have taken at the start of this one that's just really nice. A counter smoke dropped over in mid just to try and deny this presence out through the mid smoke. And so right now, FURIA have been like locked out of these few key areas that they've tried to grab early on. Now they do still have 3 smokes left in the round, so that's plenty when it comes down to this exec. And these B players had to up and leave Banana once all that util ran out. So suddenly, if you're FURIA, you kind of have the runway laid out ahead of you to begin this B exec.
I feel like a fair amount of space being given to FURIA, so no disruption on Banana whatsoever. They do get the rotate over, but a lip smoke denies any vision from Cross. Sense gets vision of Art right before the duel goes down, so even though he's blind, he kills him. Second player's looking away from flashbangs. It's a USP, kind of desperate, since no chance at a reload with that swarm coming straight for him. So Fallen and Co. breaking through with man advantage, but also sitting on a non-existent cache of utility in the face of this post-plant hold. Solo kit still for Stiko. He goes over, catching Yuri in the face. Now, last time it was Stiko over Yuri backside to finish the clutch. This time, the anchor for FURIA is already gone. So you know these other players have suddenly started to feel stranded. The pinch comes over Coffins. They clear out the pit. Cello catches the headshot deep on Banana. Oh, and comes back in for the 1v2 against Jacob. FURIA not done yet.
And that's a nice feeling for Cello as well, right? After he kind of falls down in that previous 1v2. He has Stiko to finish off in the pistol round, a pistol that FURIA desperately needed. Sure, falls short there, but he's able to pick up a separate 1v2 now in the Force Buy, so that's at least something. It's coming very, very late in the game here for FURIA. But some signs of life to at least feel like they can grind their way back into it across the series. That's really what they need right now. Apeks going to respond now by forcing back into this. And this time with that much less to fight for this banana control with, FURIA are going to have a far better time moving in here. They get the control immediately. Apeks just having to play back within these sites. And so really, you know, they're probably going to either look to gamble or kind of group up and go for a bit of a late info play. You'll see that Sen still has a smoke and a flash over towards B. So it is always an option they could look to fight for this. Instead, he just goes swinging out dry, and that feeds Serato. Two nice openers. It feels like they're kind of trying to set up Nork here in a way, right? You sacrifice like 2 players towards the banana side. He's just been tucked in at the back of B. So you're hoping that FURIA don't check for a 3rd player, but they will. And so this one is a nice lock-in round for FURIA. Yeah,
you're trying to set up Knock, but that setup, I think, requires a kill or 2 coming in on the entries, and we just get a nice flash in the pan of Serato's talent. You know, looking quite mortal at the moment. It's him and Yuri, 10 frags apiece. But with nothing to be offered out of the first 2, no surprise, FURIA are indeed able to convert it. This is what they need. With life on the line, right? We can't forget about this. It's elimination day, all right? The play-in stage of Katowice is pretty brutal. You have a bad best of 1, met by a BO3 elim right after. So time to turn it up a notch. We got that out of Apeks. Their T side was ferocious. The pace, the tempo. Really just running risk. FURIA in a position to maybe do the same, but careful. You're tiptoeing through a minefield. You ever do that?
Tiptoe through minefield?
Yeah, it gets the heart racing.
No, I can't. I don't think there are many minefields where I'm at, man.
You could make some.
Yeah.
It's always
move into like a cabin in the woods, surround it with mines.
Yeah.
That'd be sick, actually. Well, my Amazon parcel must be here.
Oh. What do you do for thrills, Harry Russell? I feel like the people don't know, and they deserve to. What's the Harry Russell thrill?
Honestly, man, there isn't a lot other than CS. Like,
come on, I know you.
No, I don't do anything. I'm not like you, man. You're like a climber. You climb.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a 30-year-old who climbs rocks, Harry.
That's sick, bro. That's like that's like the kind of new wave touch grass.
Yeah,
climb rocks.
Go climb rocks,
kid.
I took Hugo rock climbing earlier this week. We had.
He keeps complaining about his hands hurting.
Oh my god.
Is that a big no-no in the
to be fair, community? To be fair, you know, I
can imagine
rough.
It hurts.
It's rough on the skin, but I just think Hugo Byron complaining about it would be a little extra. You know, he's supposed to be a tough guy now. He's all fit. He's all fit and healthy as of late. Oh, my hands.
Oh, my hands hurt. Guys, does anyone have any aloe vera? My hands are burning.
Right, so look, FURIA, they've got some burning hands themselves with a couple of rounds going their way, right? Hot hand right now for the FURIA squad. Jesus, that's a bit of a tongue twister. For FURIA, Apeks return to the rifles here, and they're going to go ahead and lob in that bottom mid smoke immediately, blocking off the base of Banana, trying to cut out vision from the T-stairs. Give themselves a bit of room to work with on the Banana side. That assistance coming immediately from Spawn. Meanwhile, they take the apartments as well, but FURIA are moving quickly here, grouping in the top of mid. This is going to be something a little more up-tempo, perhaps, as they're already running amok out towards the long side.
Knock gets a piece of cello on the fallback, but is very quick to just forego the arch wrap. Maybe banking on apartments control, but Stiko taking damage? Wow, I can't believe he gets out. Yuri not able to kill him as he crosses back on door. And so with it, they've suddenly stifled them. Tatsunito, that smoke grenade popped. popped open, and he makes the absolute most of it. The entirety of the arch control now falls back into the hands of Apeks. They fixate in on short instead. The flashes find their targets, and of course, it is Knock to turn them back. So just when we start to praise FURIA for finding openings, it's a smoke blown open to put the brakes on this Brazilian comeback. Low HP for Cello, 3/4 his health on Yuri. I still can't believe that Yuri never caught Stiko, but at least he knows there's another player in this bomb site that's got to be low. Do they still take the chance, or do they let that 12th round slide?
I mean, hell, at this point, just go for it, right? You've got money to buy anyway next round, so take all the fights you can. Really just try drive this one home. Try sneak it past Apeks. At the 11th hour, they've got 20 seconds left. Team that's often known for going quickly. Going to go pretty slow at the end of this one and now look to explode out of the apartments. That pit player still just harassing, and perfect timing from Stiko. Even as Cello finds him, he's not winning this round anymore. That is nothing but a hope and a dream, one that is not destined to come up for FURIA. And that's map point for Apeks, locked in the moment they bring those guns out.
Damn, shout out Stiko, the survivability he's able to hold on to that round. Also, I want to look for the replay for this. We don't see the trajectory, so we don't know who opens that smoke. You can only imagine it's Apeks. But at the same time, if FURIA open it, maybe trying to fight Pit, the thing is they're just so not ready. I'm just going to say they got caught off by it. I'm going to assume CT frag grenade, and Satsunito makes the most. But yeah, Stiko getting back across the doorway, not dying to Yuri in apartments, and then never peeking him from Pit until it's time to kill the guy. Tip of the hat to Stiko, having an excellent first map this series. 106 ADR on Stiko, 17 rounds deep. And the ominous music plays, because FURIA will face 7 map points.
Yeah, a damn near impossible task to try and grind your way back into this one. You've just got to hope that you've at least kind of bought yourself out of whatever the state was they were in early on, and that you stand a chance on Mirage. Look at this, man. This is crazy. Sense just throwing caution to the wind. Gets all the way down Banana and even trades places with K-Serato. Nice. Even goes on to spam him out. And so K-Serato's round, perhaps his last round here on Inferno, ends in the most dismal of ways. Spam through that smoke at Banana. One of the players... Oh, Jacob, hang on. A little keen, a little horny for the kills down at Banana.
Yeah, gotta be careful. To reopen this round would be a tragedy for Apeks, because great chance to close out map 1. To take your map pick in commanding fashion. And to leave FURIA feeling like fools. You know Fallen is just beating himself up right now. 3 frags, just not enough. And given multiple clean, dry duels as he was playing CT side in the first half. Missed shots, the bane of his existence. Sense eats the flashbang, support out from Sandbags. Jacob knows he's locked in, and he gets cleaned out. We've got a follow through coming forward from the Banana commitment. And Satsunito's Molotov will burn sight for the time being. Does he press his luck? Tries to go for spam, off the mark, and that's a sight for FURIA to take.
Is he going to come through this? There is a flash on Stiko, but he just doesn't try. Satsunito with the double. No flash needed. He is just playing with raw confidence there on that push. Waits for the plant, and now it is just Fallen. He's been a bit of a lame duck in this map so far, and it might end that way. 5 seconds, shot connects. Oh, he doesn't go for the plant, and he wins it! Lovely from Fallen. Fakes them out with the tap when there's 4 seconds left. Apeks do not think he's bluffing, especially not with the game he's having. And there we are. That's the Fallen we came to see. That's the Fallen we paid to see. A beautiful round, and I can't believe he kind of has the composure to fake it, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe he was just off it. Like he's, you know, it's so on the line, but this deep peak, let that be your inspiration. Down 4 and 13 coming into this round, just about to get knocked out of Inferno, and Fallen reminds us what it is that he's got to offer. A superb clutch inside of the B site to keep FURIA's momentum alive. The slightest pulse here still left on Inferno, and then it's an opening kill to Stiko up in Apps. Remember that clutch if FURIA continue to run this back.
That is wild. I'm I'm lost for words, bro.
Dude, that's so Toledo. Just so nasty.
Well, F is for Furia. Jacob with the Mag 7 just doing some chip damage, but it's nothing to write home about here. And yeah, all right. It's not the kill, sure, but like it's as good as that. In fact, I would argue getting put to 5 health, that's worse than just dying on the peak. Like, at least when you're dead, you're out of the round. There's no expectations anymore. You don't have to do anything.
You can take a break.
Yeah, like
wipe your hands clean, sip your water.
5 health on an all peak. It's like great.
Yeah, Sets has to pretend like
he's going to do anything. Die later. How awesome. Watch him win the round.
No.
No, he's dead. There we are. Yuri on a bit of a smoke spam. We'll deal with him. And so Furia keep this comeback rolling in. 5 rounds, the difference between them and Apeks when all is said and done. They still think Jacob's in B, but no one else should leave this A site to go hunting.
No kit, so no stress. They're not going anywhere. Yuri's going to close it out for the 7th on Furia's side. And I know what a fallen clutch like that does for the morale.
Yeah, I think, you know, I mean, it's definitely going to elevate the team because up until now, Fallen, like, you know, we've all had those games. You're playing how you usually play, but nothing's working, nothing's hitting. You feel out of position even when you're in your usual spots. And you never feel comfortable. But then you win a 1v2 like that, and suddenly it kind of reminds you what you're capable of. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I can do this. So let's see if that's going to give a little more energy over to Fury. You can only imagine that if Fallen's happy, that rubs off on the rest of the team.
Going back into the banana control, but damn, that nade is hefty, huh? 2 players, 42 and 37 health. Oh, that's a sinking feeling when you just try to go running up banana. I mean, at least you do get control of it. But let's hope it actually nets them something. At the same time as they go for banana, we get this Tatsunito peek out from balcony room, and he's just going to hold this. And if Cello wants to hold for any kind of CT push, you know Tatsunito has the advantage here. He has a more likely path for his opponents to cross, but will Cello go and clear it?
Something interesting could happen here. If Cello walks towards the balcony, he could actually completely, like, route past these players. If he clears the bedroom, oh god, it's the worst of all worlds. He walks in, back turned, and Saturnito will find him. And so that's how it goes down. They were just kind of using him as like a gatekeeper of mid, right? He would know at the first chance whether or not these players are rotating back around. Instead, he gets rewarded with an early 5v4, and now they fall back into a more passive setup back in the site. A chance to get established right now to set up these crossfires. It's going to be Stiko down in the pit, Sassanito inside of the site. And it looks like Furia do want to follow through with this, getting out into middle. At least looks like they've got their bearings, and they know that they're being given room here. Falling up at the front on this AWP.
That frag grenade, though, it could come back to haunt them so badly. Stiko, we've seen what he did, anchoring inside of the pit, but as he pops up, Fallen will grab him. Tatsunito dead! Yes. Fallen! He goes from just the op entry into the Tech-9 drive-by headshot, and so Art doesn't have to worry. K Serrato need not stress. Fallen, not only the 1v2 to keep this game going, but now a very critical, in what could have been sketchy situation, to establish Furia's 8th.
Fallen was bad, but now he's bad Fallen, right? Like, he's kind of completed the full rotation on this one. The redemption arc is in play. He's caught up to the rest of the gang. And that round there, he is like the sole savior of everything for Furia. Second time now in this comeback. Apeks left saving, and if you told me coming into this second half that we were even going to be entertaining a comeback at any point, I would have been like, no, you're crazy. And I would have said it exactly like that, like really cutely, you know? You're crazy.
Man, if I knew this game was going to be a comeback, I wouldn't have started the half with a Hugo Byron impersonation, because I thought we were out of here. I thought we were wiping our hands of Inferno and dip into map 2. Just to think back at the first half as well, right? The 2 CT rounds that Furia end up nabbing, this is so ridiculous. Free frag delivered. It was 2 of the last 3 rounds in the closing moments. Furia get just enough to survive losing the pistol round, to survive that one-off 5 rounds into the second half. The 2 rounds that we have seen Apeks pick up since the defensive side started. But as we did have Majority survived that last round. Apeks, it's an easy rebuy, despite it not being an easy close.
Yeah, they're going to take it kind of partial, right? Like, play around a few of these pistols, get a good bit of util to go alongside the saved guns.
Aggression.
And aggression coming out from Sense, but it is immediately punished. Wow. The kill feed fills with orange as FURIA light up Apeks on that attempt at aggression down through mid. They had all the accompanying util to try and make that happen as well, so great reaction from FURIA. They don't have those players at ramp in a position to fight. Instead, it all hinged on these guys in alt mid locking it down, and they do that. That leaves Apeks with nothing really to do in this round now, other than maybe try and find these guns down in alt and just get out with the save. Now that you've seen another guy in the apartments, you're like, yeah, it's an A stack, right? And so FURIA are just going to go and take B. They know they've done it. They're still execing just for the sake of, you know, leaving no stone unturned. You don't want to lose this to some Nork 1v5.
Nah, these are just the stragglers of the pack, you know? The grass grazers, the vultures, trying to come through and find upgrades, which they do. Knock, hands on an AK. Good luck with the save, boss. FURIA, 9.
It's so mind-boggling that this all starts with Fallen after having like one of the worst games I've seen him have in a long while, missing everything, just looked out of it, being able to pull back a 1v2 in a really ballsy way as well. I can't emphasize that enough. Like, he had 4 seconds left. If he fakes the bomb and then peeks CT and isn't given that fight in the first place, they lose the round, and with it, you know, the whole game gets away from them, and then that's it. It's on to map 2.
Yeah.
But he wins that. In the follow-up round, he goes on to get that 2K opener in a 4v5, and so suddenly, slowly but surely rather, FURIA are building back into this one, and now there's just 3 rounds between them and Apeks, a feat that felt impossible just, what, 6 rounds ago?
Think about how dumb Fallen would have looked after having as cold of a map as he was. If he goes for that CT peak, there's nobody there, time expires, and they lose the map like that. I mean, a lesser man would have just simply planted bomb, because we're still 90% sure he had that plant.
Oh, he had it 100%, but yeah, like...
But we go back into it. I mean, it's been 2 brazen rounds from... Oh, Apeks, there it is. You know, I'm going to say, this was kind of what the T side out of Apeks was looking like as of late, right? Just kind of out of nowhere moments, just they'll throw the Hail Mary. They'll catch teams off guard, and that's what we get after all of this work, all this hard work, all the efforts.
This was always the scary thing, right? Was like, even though you're embarking on the comeback, even though you're starting to believe a hell of a lot more than you did, even though everyone's starting to look a little better, Apeks just have that breathing room, right? They have the rounds to play with, and they can afford to throw in some of these Hail Marys still. And they do that down Banana, and look at the results. It's now a 2v5. FURIA, they've won their fair share of impossible situations here in this map, but surely this is asking too much.
Harry, we've been sat here weaving our web of false hopes, narrating as we lead the viewers on, making them all think there was a possibility of Fallen creating the most beautiful comeback. But no, sir, not tonight. Apeks will close this, as they always should have. A magnificent clutch from Fallen. We can't take that away. The follow-up impact, it was there, and it makes for a far more interesting map 2 in this series. It was simply too cold of a start from FURIA on the brink of what